Hello, everybody, and welcome back to, at long last, some regularly scheduled TCWC. How are we all doing, boys? Hello, Captain Pie. Hello, Dr. Peters. This stream is brought to you by confusion, bad luck, and caffeine. Um, why you gotta call me out like this, Dr. Peters? Why? Why? I'm here for moral support and emotional damage. I think is my favorite statement that you've made there. By the way, Mr. Toadstool, look on the Discord channels. In the Discord. Why you flipping tables, sir? Why you flipping tables? Going absolutely mad to start things off over here, Dr. Peters. However, we'll get things started off with... Actually, no, someone has arrived. Appears that Jimmy Long has arrived on the commentary desk.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monday Melee. My name is Jimmy Long, and I'll be joining Harold on the table today.
Good to have you here, Mr. Long. It would appear that our GM is out here to make an announcement in Wolfric Drake in just a moment.
Now, we're coming off a very interesting draft. I'm curious to see what he has to say about his choices there.
Whoa! Hey, Gwen. Thank you for the subscription, Genshin Moon. How have you been doing? I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? I am also very curious to see what Wolfric Drake will have to say. He made some, in my opinion, intriguing drafts. A little bit too high priority on the young, in my opinion, but let's make his own decision.
It's our GM's complete right to make his choices, but me personally, I would have built me a solid base of more experienced superstars.
In my Conor McGregor voice, who the fuck is that guy? And I do believe you're good. I think you're good. I cannot make a guarantee of things. I might have to. It's cool, which is fine. However, the whole war horns echo as Wolfric Drake makes his way to the ring before smiling as he enters and taking a mic from a ring hand. Now, first off, I don't know what the hell got into Mr. Harold saying I struggle with dwarfism. I am 5'4", sir. Wolfric grins before doing a spin of the ring. I know some of you are questioning how I drafted. How could I let the likes of Cameron go to tussle? Why didn't I try to pick up members of Villain Club or Final Testament? Or even try to pick up a returning star like Hannah Morris? The answer to you all is simple. I trust the next generation of stars here in TCWC to put on as good of a show as they can. People like Yuri, people like Zofia, people like Elise, people like Vivi and Damien. They are the future of this business. The next names you'll be seeing headlining Blood in the Snow and Last Crown. They just need a chance to prove it. You've already seen it in Leo. Well, you've seen it in AJ, in Azrael, even in Danny. You can have legacies behind you. You can have old reigns and old stories. But that is what they are. The past. Old ideas, tried and tested true, but also tied up in their own methods that they can't see the changes needed. And with the help of this roster, we are going to forge the future of TCWC and make this a year to remember. Dino. I'm not. I try to do accents for this. Don't always succeed. However, Jimmy, what are your thoughts on our first match tonight? That's going to be the opener of the triple threat between Kurt Outlaw, Hacksaw Howard, and AJ Phoenix.
I think personally, the man to watch here is Howard. Like, he's returning after a however long hiatus. He's gotta be a bit rusty, but if I know Howard, he's gonna be going out all in tonight.
Interestingly enough, the only person in this match who probably won't be rusty at all is going to be AJ Phoenix. Phoenix is fresh off of some BPW work, but both Kurt Outlaw and the Hacksaw have been out of active interaction for quite a while.
And I think personally, interactions between Outlaw and Hacksaw are going to be very interesting. These are two very strong men. I'm excited to see what happens between those two.
Just a moment. Took longer years than expected to figure out where to get to triple threat matches.
If I may be so bold, though, I'm just worried that our GM is looking about as far as he is tall with his booking options.
It is a concern, but they do have to get challengers at some point for these titles, as none of them have been defended on broadcast for quite a while.
Well, don't get me wrong, like, it is a good card, but I'm focusing a bit on the draft here. Why not go with like a solid base, even just 5 experienced stars? Like, Cameron could have tore things up over here on Melee, but I'm glad that he can go over on Tussle and just wreck everyone.
I have to think that he's more worried about getting names that he's already worked with. If you look overall at the draft, very few people actually change shows over the draft.
My personal opinion, I think it was a smart idea to keep Outlaw and Owen separated. We know those two have quite a bit of history.
Quite agreed.
I don't know if that was the main reason Cameron didn't come to Melee, or if Wolfric wasn't even thinking about that. But if it was, I will give flowers to Wolfric.
Jimmy deserves his own entrance theme.
That is very generous, Peters.
We got the Gorms going already.
Oh, we love the Worms.
Jimmy seems very having died. We're off to celebrate Rusev Day.
Not far off, actually. Every day's Rusev Day where I am.
Now, a big thing of note in this matchup here is that none of these men, barring AJ Phoenix, have been previous Skyline champions. Which might leave some of them going maybe a little bit untested here, especially with the ring rust on Howard to immediately being thrust into a #1 contender match upon his return.
Well, you're acting like it isn't deserved for Howard. I mean, while he was here, he tore everything up. I'd say he was one of the better champions in TCWC history. At least that's just my opinion.
I think he did a relatively good job. At the end of the day, he beat up someone who was substantially smaller than him, and then got counted out and threw a bit of a tantrum, and then left fairly quickly afterwards, after he lost via count.
mean, getting counted out can be very frustrating. You have to consider the mental toll that took on him.
Tennessee, weighing in at 252 pounds.
However, someone who takes a mental toll at thinking too hard, it is going to be Kurt Outlaw.
Careful what you say, he may come after you next.
He's welcome to try it. I control whether or not he has a job, so if it comes at me in commentary, I'm happy to make it so he's only working at ACW.
I'm sure Cameron would be watching very happily like that.
Ooh, look at this guy. He looks like he power bombs.
What kitten specifically?
Oh. Kurt
Is it
Outlaw,
too
I
late to
hope,
count?
does not harm animals in his off time, or there are some more concerns backstage.
Is it too late to crown message of the night? Or too early, I mean.
I don't think it. I think it's too early to definitely crown it. But we got a contender. Hello, Blitz.
Representing the Brotherhood from Sarasota, Florida, weighing in at 250 pounds. AJ.
Wait, hold on, Peter. Were you talking about Kurt or Howard?
With Dr. Peter's history, both. However, we have to point out here that the crowd, while was happy to see Hacksaw Howard, did not leave him on a good note. And they were not happy to see AJ, and they were not happy to see Kurt. You do have me, Blitz. You do have me. Don't think I've forgotten, Mr. Prince.
Now, Peters, I've actually talked to Howard a bit backstage. He is not the type of person to harm animals. I mean, you're welcome to your opinions, even wrong ones.
Wrong ones, even more so for the wrong ones. Now we do have Sarah Tanner back out here to referee this match. She did catch some flack last week for the missed rope break, among other few situations that occurred during the tournaments. However, off to a very fast start so far has been Hacksaw Howard. Neither Kurt or AJ have been able to find much momentum against him, but they are both starting to target him over time. Howard might end up a little bit exposed here.
I will say, I think the biggest factor in this is just the sheer size difference between Howard and the other two men.
We'll have to see
Howard
whether or
has
not this is going to be factored into the decision. It could be a long-standing decision between both of them to try and get Hacksaw Howard out of this match competitively and just try and turn this into a 1v1 as much as possible. Kurt trying to negotiate with the wrong man.
You have to think maybe Kurt has a few less brain cells from all the wrestling he's been doing.
I don't think that's what affected the brain cell count. I'm just surprised we didn't see something about having a several thousand% chance of victory tonight.
Well, he may blurt it out sometime in the middle of the match before getting sucker punched. That'd be funny.
That would be very funny. However, coming now in with a kendo stick, Phoenix just chucking it at Howard. That slap across the chest has done nothing positive for him. Phoenix goes down with a big combination and a pair of axe handles.
Notable engine sounds from Hacksaw.
I knew it put something to power that frame. I knew it. Does that count as performance enhancing?
No, that's just his boss music, don't worry.
It's just his boss music. Got him caught with a single leg Boston Crab. Phoenix actually managed to fight his way out of things. However, Outlaw caught in between two people who are not going to be happy walking in with the kendo stick. Phoenix still struggling to find the right way to approach Howard, though.
Now, my question for you, if you're AJ Phoenix going against two very strong, very intimidating men, what would you do to try and pull out a victory here?
Truthfully, my strategy, as Phoenix has done in the past, let these two wear each other out. Let them go for these pins against each other, come in, break them up, and then just step back outside of the ring, let them do their thing. And then come back in when neither one of them is ready to take anything you are bringing to the table anymore.
Blitz has fire today. Lie down and die.
That is the strategy if you don't want to win.
It's definitely a strategy.
However, round and around Howard goes. The hacksaw has
We
landed.
love the hacksaw here. One of
There's
my
one.
favorite moves.
There's two. Solid kick out at about 2.5. The current Skyline champion is Leo Carr, who has a definite size disadvantage on everyone in this match. Not that it...
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Howard formerly a Skyline champion, or are you thinking the wrong
No,
championship?
Howard was a former Capital champion.
Okay, got it. Got the two mixed up. Thank you.
Not a problem. However, now we have a pennant attempt after the broken kendo stick. Tanner almost finds three. Howard in at the last moment to break that pin up. Phoenix back up onto his feet though, but taken down with a big clothesline.
Now, everyone can talk day and night about how big and strong Howard is, but I think the thing we need to look at the most is his ability on the top rope. That can be lethal if he does it right.
However, he's not made a move to even try and go for the top rope just yet. However, that roll-up did not find even a 1 count on Howard.
Well, if I hear right, one of the conditions for him to re-sign was for him to not go up on the turnbuckle as much. Can you comment on that?
I can definitely confirm that. It was both unsafe to him and his opponents.
No, for Howard, it's just a little hot, but it's actually almost lethal for his opponents, I think.
Big men do not typically last long when they are high flyers in wrestling, however. There's a lot of wear and tear that goes into playing off those ropes, and any exercise or weight is just more and more force going into your own body. So he's going to be a very, very dangerous competitor for as long as his body lasts him, but I'm not sure how long Howard's body has.
I think he also is coming back because of that very reason, the wear and tear on his body.
Both of them going to town on Steel's test, but Howard just a little bit faster with him. That was a weird decision there, at least in my opinion.
I mean, it's a fascinating choice, but like maybe he had a different way of seeing it.
Fascinating choice is definitely one thing to call it.
Hey, I'm trying to be as charitable here as possible.
Nice power slam by Howard, not giving him a chance to capitalize. Kurt Outlaw actually managed to take down Hacksaw. However, no. Nice little arm drag by Kurt Outlaw. And Kurt looking to actually try and put some offense into Howard for the first time seriously in this match. I'm sorry there's a storm coming, Gwen. The storm seems to have mostly bypassed me on my side.
That is very good. I love hearing that you say
Howard
Mr.
rolling out of the ring as a paralyzer is landed. There's two. And Kurt Outlaw takes the win, pinning AJ Phoenix.
I hate to see it. I really hate to see it. I don't know about you, but I did not want Kurt to win that one.
Honestly, I'm not sure I wanted any of them to be the person going up against Carr.
Oh, Kurt, Carr is a dead man walking. I'm gonna say that right now.
Underestimated in the past, but the Natural has the moniker for a well-earned reason, but there's also a reason he was in the escalation division first.
Historically, it's not good when a cruiserweight goes up against someone like Kurt Outlaw.
However, it is actually worth noting that it was smaller people who actually finally managed to start finding consistent wins on Kurt Outlaw. And the first one who really put a dent in Outlaw's armor was Wilfred Drake himself. Well, that man is a bundle of muscle. Gotta admit that Kurt Outlaw had a size advantage.
Wolfrick's a special case. He's about as wide muscle-wise as he is tall. He's basically a square of walking muscle.
I think that is my favorite description I've ever heard of the man.
Well, you're very welcome.
The funny thing on the size note there, Captain, though, is that AJ is actually bigger than Kurt Outlaw. Outlaw just
Wait, really? I did not see that from here.
Yeah, throughout that entire match, Kurt Outlaw was actually the smallest one in the ring. Meanwhile, somewhere backstage, Tim's character is crying and Jimmy is narrating beautifully.
It seems I've endeared myself a little bit.
It's hard to judge with Dr. Peters. The man is a voice of chaos.
He's chaos incarnate.
However, there is another promo here. The Dynasty is walking out to the ring. It's like, why did my promo scroll all the way up to the top of this? Thank you. Pierre is standing in the ring, attention almost pulsing through him. Evelyn stands next to him, Godwin resting on the ropes facing the opposite direction. The Duke's nose twitches just before he speaks. What kind of charade is this? First, Miss Tanner is allowed to botch the rope break, and you don't bat an eye. That is 2 opening tournaments in a row for you absolute fools. Last year, you missed both Evelyn's and mine, and this year, at least you improved your count by 1. Then you bring back Warwick, the bastard who was trying to take the glory from me and Dieter. He knew his place, and he jumped up from it just the same. I humbled him, and he ran away to some other company, and you bring him back. Evelyn interjects before Pierre can continue his rant. All we want, Vigilantes, is a chance to prove that we should have won that match, and that those belts should have gone home with us. Edward Godwin turns around and leans on the ropes, looking between them. All you want is a match, Duchess? I think you deserve a title shot for that botch, personally. Like the Duke said, you got 2 screw jobs in a row. Duke gives a single solid nod to Godwin. Exactly. Chris, Jackie, we want... Pierre is suddenly cut off by a theme that has not been heard on a live broadcast of TCWC. The Titron in bold letters revealing the source. Raymond Warwick. Title shot this, title shot that. Burned here. Complaining about me since you heard I got drafted? Come on, my dear Pierre, you wound me. I come back from you up to this stinking pair of cities, and this is how you welcome me back? Trying to use me was a last-minute attempt at survival to get yourself a title shot? Raymond laughs before kissing his hand, turning around and slapping his thigh. Kiss my ass. He walks towards the ring, not even giving Pierre a chance to speak. I already said my piece to Dita back in Europe, but here you are. You had 4 years to become something, anything of value. Instead, you are the same man I left here, crying, whining, acting like you are the one to bring some lost glory to a company, and people who have always hated us. I can't imagine what little Edward there sees in you, let alone your fragile Duchess. Both Evelyn and Edward go to speak before being cut off again, as Edward stands on the apron. Neither of you brave enough to come attack me for wounding your Duke? Tell me you see the pattern too. Raymond goes to meet Edward on the apron. Pierre's eyes flare at him. Raymond, keep Evelyn and Edward out of this. This is between you and me. There's no pattern wherever you think you're seeing. You are just as delusional as when you thought you could fight me one-on-one and lost. Raymond laughs again. Striking a chord already, are we? You say I'm delusional, but no, there is a pattern here. First, it is Dita, going back to save your pathetic ego and inflate you, alongside little Godwin there. Edward gets into his face. Call me little one more time. Raymond laughs again. Oh, I will, don't worry, little lordling. But the adults were speaking, weren't we, Pierre? Evelyn's flints, but Warwick doesn't seem to care. Where were we, Pierre? The fact that just like me, when I got some amount of glory over you, you cast out Dieter when he got the Capital Championship. Who's next, Duke? Edward? He looks at Evelyn, or your wife. Evelyn spears Raymond off the apron as security sprint down the ramp, followed by Wulfric forcibly separating Evelyn and Raymond as the screen cuts away. Thank you for the bits, Dr. Peters.
I will say, it's an interesting choice of Raymond to walk into the metaphorical lion's den here.
I'm only here for like 2 minutes, but we just... Damn you, Damakos. Damn you. A Minecraft... I'm not sure how to take this. It is brave of him to walk into that, but I think it is also showing that Pierre's first reaction was not to try and fight him.
I think, deep down, under all that bravado and all that regalness, I think the Duke is scared of him to an extent.
Wonder how much is caught up in old memories, quite frankly. Why is this not letting me do special guest reference?
So, Mr. Harold, you catch AEW the other night.
Yes, I did.
That was quite a announcement from Braden, though.
I am surprised to hear that Braden is retiring. I'm honestly was not expecting that to ever occur. Let alone an announcement there.
There are a few rumors floating around that he has some sort of protege.
Nobody watches AEW. Not what we were talking about, but
I'm not talking about AEW, Peters. Don't even compare AEW to that garbage. Up, and I'm already trending on the IWC. Okay.
it didn't take long, did it?
No, not at all. What is that? My first match as an announcer, I'm already getting canceled?
The thumbs down is so fast on all of it.
AEW is the minor leagues.
However, next match up, we're going to have Yuri Yasukawa taking on Gabriella Delphite.
Now, if I may be a bit bold here, I think the Duke is just mad that he and his faction can't get good. And to an extent, Raymond's right. Dieter showed loyalty to the Duke, and yet he still got casted out.
And participants. First, from Kamakura, Kanagawa, Japan,
Let Mike Rome
the
finish.
Ghost, Yuri!
It is definitely a strong point there. Dieter has showed a lot of loyalty to Pierre, and so did Godwin. However, it's also worth noting that Godwin was one of the first people to turn on Pierre. Pierre's dynasty seems to be a bit of a fractured mess when it comes to anyone but himself.
I will say it's possible that Godwin is some sort of puppet master playing in the ear of Pierre.
We should get on to the current match at hand.
That is right.
Way to the ring, it is Yuri Yasukawa. Sorry, I just came back up there and saw Pierre something is a coward. That is all. How did I not see that before? I got so distracted by the nobody watches AEW. I'm excited to see it, Blitz. Now, it is worth mentioning that Yuri, despite being active for the better part of a year now in TCWC, has not been able to get herself a title or even a title match thus far.
You have to believe that that's going to play a bit of a mental factor in her head.
She comes into most matches as the veritable underdog, but she did end last year on a big win with the Dragon Slayer cutter. Tonight she's going to be up against a new challenger.
Quote our GM a bit here. You can talk about the past all you want, but it's what happens tonight and in the future that counts the most.
See, Wolfric can say that, and other people can say that in defense of their own ambitious performances. But I think the past is a big tell on what the future holds.
Oh, no, absolutely. I do believe that. But just like with a measuring stick, people can grow and measure up higher than they did before. Just look at Howard. I think he grew maybe an inch since we last saw him.
If he did, I want to know where he found it, because I know someone
I'm sorry, that was a
would
bad
like
joke. Hey, I'm just saying, 5'5" is a nice round number.
Both meaning you are going to get beaten up by Wolfric soon, aren't we?
No, I'm gonna have a friend of mine have my car running so I can get out of here fast. Don't worry.
He might walk down. Why is this giving me this tutorial? I am... Oh.
What have you done?
Nothing, it has been fixed.
Fans in the front row are happy.
Yeah. However, nice bit of chain wrestling here out of Gabriella and Yuri, saying that Delphite has complete control of thus far.
Oh, I want to address something real quick. Peters, if you ever say something do it about Logan Paul again. I'm gonna come find you.
Delphi actually manages to find Yuri on the back end there, but is now looking for a roll-up. Quickly on the count was Madeline Kynes. However, up from the top rope, maneuver not quite landing that moonsault, proving a little bit too far, and straight back into the hard grapple they are heading.
I will say, if Wolfric doesn't kill me before I get out of here tonight, I'd be more than happy to come back for a tussle.
We will have to see. I am not opposed. Up on the shoulders is Yuri, and Gabriella dropping across the top rope. Headed straight into the corner is Delphi. And now set her up for a nice little leg drop.
Skeeter, I'm gonna come find you.
Dr. Peters has found his cord. You. Off from the
He's
ropes,
got
Yuri
fire
also
tonight.
with a
He's got
similar
venom.
misjudgment. And rolled up yet again by Delphi. Gabriella seems a little bit concerned about her ability to hold up to the more experience of Yazakawa if she keeps going for these roll-ups. I would not have expected
Come on!
Gabriella to be overly timid, but now looking for the pin off of that moonsault. But a nice kick out for Yuri at 2.
Can you believe this? Blitz and Pierce are teaming up on me now.
Hey, leave the drop spot for me alone. There he's just doing it.
I'm just trying to get a paycheck, man. Come on.
In the words of our analyst Kent from not long ago, this is a dangerous place to earn a paycheck.
Well, I'm from the Bayou, so I'm a bit familiar with danger.
We're up to a 4 count out of 15. And Yuri back on her feet finally. A bit of confidence on display. However, very quickly, no reversal by Yazakawa on the re-entry. But that dropkick does not find its mark. And Delphi back on the offense. No! Yuri finds a roll-up, but there is a quick rope break.
Yeah, why do you come here and say that the body of Braden's career isn't even cold yet? The body's still warm, and yet you're gonna disrespect him like that. I can't believe you. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I broke Timothy.
I am very much laughing at Gabsmer. Say what you will about Logan Paul's comment. That's what I'm dead at right now. However, Delphi got Yuri lined up. No clothesline was found, however, and Yuri now back on the offense with a big kick to the spine.
The danger to me here isn't the wrestlers, it's the people in the comment section. Dear Lord.
You mean the crowd coming after you?
The crowd are coming after me now. How do they even hear me?
Nice suplex out of
I thought the
Yazakawa.
commentary.
And now getting it lined up. Got a nice little tequila sunrise. But Yuri breaks, rather not Yuri, but Gabriella breaking out very quickly. Nice bulldog. Now looking for the pin attempt. We've got the 1, we've got 2. But Yazakawa with a nice kick out. Very nice moonsault. Looking for the pin. We've got a 1, we've got a 2. But still, Yuri continues to fight out.
Blitz, do me a favor and stay backstage.
Why you, Jimmy, just calls it clothesline one of them fancy
Fancy
swamp
swamp bugs.
pin attempt out of Yuri, onto Yuri again, but still, just these continuous 2 counts. Delphite unable to find the offense she needs to put Yuri away, and Yazakawa continuing to power out. I have to say that I'm thinking Delphite's looking a little desperate to put Yuri away.
Well, Piers, I'll have you know I don't call them one of them fancy swamp hugs. I call them gator catches. That wasn't even in Spirit Squad, man. What are you talking about? I'm fighting ghosts over here.
Plays it up for a nice little power bomb at ringside. Across ringside, heading back into the ring now. What is that camera angle?
That camera angle is awful.
And winning by countout is going to be Gabriella Delphite.
Yeah, she really took the coward's way out. I can't believe that. Hey, that was such a good match, but they took the coward's way out. I don't like that one bit.
Delphite showed consistent lack of confidence up against Yuri. Yazakawa has a lot more experience behind her, and Delphite seemed not willing to try and get onto the long-term back and forth that would end up favoring Yuri.
I would not be surprised if Yuri came out and asked for a rematch.
I would not be shocked either. However, there was a lot of resiliency shown by Yuri, and the offense of Delphite was still there.
It wasn't enough, though.
The decision I would have liked to see after all that fighting.
And you can talk about amount of offense all you want, but in the end, she had to rely on a count out to get this win. She should not be celebrating like she is.
I think some of this celebrating is just to try and save face, if I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Oh no, absolutely. Her ego is bruised.
Both Yuri's and Gabriella's. Over. I'm going to need to see if I can play with the special guest referee matches, because in any arena, I can set it to the 15 count out with special guest referee via just custom match. I could not do so that time. I'm going to have to try that again. Maybe it was just being weird. However, that was a very, very unfortunate ending to that match.
At what point can I get someone for harassment?
Trust me, I'm not here to help you with that harassment bit. This is just being here. That's low, but we are doing the standards in higher.
I can't win!
There is no victory against Dr. Peters. There is no victory.
I will never financially recover from this.
There's no recovery. It's simply suffering that remains. However, I have gotten word that Edward Godwin has been granted a match up against Raymond Warwick to defend the honor of the Davis Shones up against Raymond Warwick later on in the evening.
We may have to get a bit more security for that match, though, in my opinion.
If it blows over, Wolford can handle it. That's why he likes being a GM anyway.
Now, this next match has me very interested due to the apparent lasting effects of Russell Shepard on Caleb Ward and Brandon Young.
I am very, very curious to see how this match is going to play out. Caleb Ward, in particular, is someone who has been far from anything resembling stable.
I will say, the one person I believe could possibly contend with him is Brandon Young himself.
I actually think Brandon Young is kind of my favorite to actually manage to win this match. Now,
Really, my favorite's Caleb.
Caleb Ward has seemed just a little bit too distracted, I think, for a Fatal 4-Way to go his way. As much as it seems to have unleashed something in Elijah, Ward has looked lost.
Okay, you know what? I'm just not gonna look at the chat anymore. I'm just not gonna listen to the crowd anymore.
Look at the chat. He's given up. He's given up.
You can only take so much harassment, man.
You didn't ever play League, did you?
Nah, League is for losers.
You build up a very thick skin very,
Word is
very
traveling.
quickly.
Ambition is stirring in distant cities.
Oh,
We can use this.
Thank you for the raid, Ishiro. Thank you very much for the raid again, Ishiro. How was the stream?
We love raids.
Now, I have to apologize to you guys in advance. I do not speak Portuguese. Good night. Fuck you. Fuck you too.
yes, I did say that, and I'm not gonna take it back. This is my victory. I'm not taking it back. League is for losers.
Disc.
They had to make a whole show to get
Have a
interest in the
wonderful
game.
night, Ishiro. Now, as a reminder for the stipulations that are going to be going into this match, the first one eliminated is going to not have a spot in the Revolution Gauntlet. And then after that, it is deciding what order they will be coming out of for Melee in that gauntlet. Oh, I didn't say this is elimination. Give me just a moment. Brazilian love is different. You guys are good. Give me 1 second, lads. I forgot to make this elimination.
I get the most distinct feeling I have some sort of missile coming my way now.
Oh, there is a missile coming, and it's not far away.
Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks.
Sorry, I hate typing like this. Look, Ninja, I'm very used to the Brazilian love. There's a reason I got along with Ishiro when we were playing those weird games.
Most will end up here,
It's a
covered
weird
in the
game.
poisoned
Playing
earth,
RTS is all the time.
awaiting merciful oblivion.
You develop a different kind of skin for when you start playing those with someone, especially when you guys get a little frustrated with each other. I know. Oh, give me a moment. I definitely didn't forget to make this anything specific. There we go.
Just a bit of technical difficulty here, folks. Don't worry.
Don't worry, guys. Everything's fine. The lights just went out. It's normal for this to occur here. Backstage is chaos at all times. Someone's
Isn't it
always
chaotic
doing
at every
some-
wrestling show, though?
Hey, what was that?
Isn't it chaotic at every single wrestling show, though, in some way or another?
I think there is a special place for the kind of chaos that happens here. It's not as aggressive as other places, but there's always something going on.
I mean, the GM of this show is above Manlet, and the GM of Tussle is a veteran.
You're
I think you
about
have
to
our own
get
special
beaten up
brand
by
of weird.
Wickman. What'd you just call Wolfric? What did you just call Wolfric?
I called him buff. All right.
I heard someone else out there. This man's about to walk out on you. I can't save you from him. The board likes him. And thank you for following, Ninja. Sorry, I'm in my own little world right now.
I'm gonna try and spin them off of my chair here. I'm gonna see if that works. It probably won't though. Like a lion tamer.
Jimmy's the type of person to scan you at a 7-Eleven at 3 in the morning with flip-flops on. I like how Bayou Jimmy's signature call is just screaming Lottie when someone takes a bump.
I haven't even got a signature call yet.
The following contest is in
We don't... Levi, I know you're walking out to the ring. I know. Thank you for refereeing this match. I know it's going to be chaos.
And the participants.
I am not safe here from either the crowd or the GM.
There is no safety here.
I'm pretty sure I signed my death warrant.
Look, Wolfric is coming for you. I'm not sure you make it to tomorrow.
I'm gonna try to make it with at least only an eye missing.
You only need one eye to see. However, Caleb Ward looking a little bit more fired up and less lost than the last time I saw him.
When he crawls around the ring, he scares me.
The wrestler crashes through the announce
And his
table.
opponents. First, representing the Madness.
I like to see you get up close and personal when you're not trained.
At 198 pounds, the ringer, Brandon Young.
I mean, out
Is
now.
that my nickname now? Bayou Jimmy?
Bayou Jimmy has to become your nickname, Mr. Long. I can't stop the crowd.
Ay, mierda.
However, the ring master of the carnival. He has probably a bit of a personal bone to pick with Caleb Ward. Ward was one of the last people to actually pick up a win against Brandon Young in singles competition. I'm one of the wrestlers here, Falcon of Breathman and Jimmy's commentary sounds like he learned English yesterday from a raccoon punk. I need to just commentate. I can't just keep reading these notes.
191 pounds.
However, TCWC's singular luchador made a very big personal resurgence at the end of last season. We'll have to see if El Tigre can make some progress for himself here today, since he almost got himself a shot in the Blood in the Snow gauntlet before Bram Winter stole the opportunity from both him and Jackson Lucekas.
I will say, it's crazy to me that we only have a singular luchador here.
Well, I should say masked luchador at least. I'm not sure if there are more.
What does that even mean, Peters?
Every time Jimmy calls a match, a tiger somewhere miles
What does that even mean?
I wonder if that because you're making so much noise that things in Siberia are annoyed about it? My best guess.
He's talking nonsense now.
However, someone who has been a bit of a dark horse here in TCWC. It is the Turkish Halil Aydin.
Why the Tiger King? Why?
Aydin has a well-earned reputation as a bit of a sadist, preferring to use many submission holds over just about any other form of offense.
Why do I remind you of Joe Exotic?
Because you're exotic.
Don't you even. You're talking a whole lot for someone in throttling range.
I can get Wolford to come out here faster and then hide. Very
he's coming out
quick
there for
start
me
to this
anyway.
match. Caleb Ward finding a lot of offense up against El Tigre. However, now being caught with a roll-up by Young. Swift kick out. Tennessee. I left Sean. I have better things to do. However, nice bulldog found by Brandon, and on the backside of it, dropkick found to Halil, who is now waiting on the ropes and trying to catch his breath. Young going after the arm of El Tigre, gets caught out by Ward. A lot of chaos in this match. So I know you were favoring Caleb Ward as a favorite to win this match. What do you think gives him advantage over his other competitors?
You're insane. In my head, I was thinking, if this person has no limits in their mind on what they want to do, it's gonna be like a wild animal was set loose in that ring.
I'm just worried about his level of distraction. Right now, he seems a bit more focused though. However, thank you for the more bits, Dr. Peters. Thank you for more bits. What? Who are you mocking with? Almost finds a 3 count on El Tigre, but Halil gets caught out, and Caleb Ward has got Aydin up for a power bomb, and now looking for a pin straight on the back end of it, as a splash is found on El Tigre. Vang desperately trying to get to more pin attempts, but unable to quite get to that one. And now a roll-up attempt by El Tigre.
You asked who Glenn was mocking. If tonight is any indication, it's probably me for some reason.
Dropkick evaded by the ringmaster. Jimmy's the type of guy who would try to book a Tiger in a TLC match. Is it not Tigers,
like
Mamas, and
cool.
Crocodiles? Is that not what TLC stands for?
I think the Llama's at a distinct disadvantage in that match.
Don't underestimate their spit, man. Like, angry.
Clearly
I'm
you
too
never
tired
watched
to
footage of
understand.
Tigers or
So wait,
Cubs.
why is it a special guest ref match? So, Captain Brandon has got a question for Aydin, and Halil has broken out of the guillotine relatively quickly. So, Captain, ignore that they're special guest referee matches. I made my own refs this year because I can. And, like, everything can be a special guest ref match, so I made my own refs.
Jimmy's the type of
Nice
person
coup de
who
grace.
snored a gummy worm by accident.
One. We've got 2. But Caleb Ward survives the coup de grace, and straight into things we have got the prize shot in on El Tigre. There's 1, there's 2, and Tigre survives on fumes. Young has been set up, and Ward with another big power bomb. However, off the ropes, El Tigre and Halil both not quite finding what they were looking for, but Aydin has been set up, and there is a nice play of the game. That's a playmaker. There's
That is
1.
a beautiful
There's 2.
move.
Not quite free there. So doing the play-by-play is chaotic and colorful.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. With all this Tiger talk about me, I'm surprised they didn't bring up Joe Rogan with how much that guy talks about Tigers.
That's a step too far. Looking for a pin off that knee strike. El Tigre might be out of things, but he continues to fight on. Might be a tiger, but he's got the heart of a lion.
And he's also banned from the zoo for that very reason.
El Tigre should retire. Oh, come on.
Joke's on you, I'm not associated with El Tigre.
There's two, but still surviving also is Brandon Young. Looking for the pin now on Halil, though, is El Tigre, and Halil Aydin is the first one out of this match. And he will not be in the Revolution Gauntlet next week.
Well, I can't really commentate if all of you are teaming up on me, Peters.
I think crowd interaction counts as commentating. Roll up now on Young. Actually being rolled up by Caleb now. But no, roll up yet again, just rotating through the roll-ups. However, it is Caleb Ward left standing and finding a nice clothesline. Looking to pin El Tigre. We've got two, but a solid kick out yet again by Tigre.
I'm sorry, but is it not a cool image to see someone riding a tiger?
Ward has been caught by Young. No love lost. However, breaking out of the guillotine, it is Ward. Waiting for him, though, is Tigre. Swings him around for a nice Frankensteiner. However, Brandon Young happy to have a new playmate, but Tigre back on the offense. Nice standing moonsault.
I'm genuinely curious where all this tiger talk came from with me.
I think the Tiger Talk started and then El Tigre came out and it just increased.
No, like, I know it started and it increased, but why did it start in the first
Because
place?
you got compared to Tiger King.
Oh, yeah.
Really just make it amount for Jim.
Oh, no, I agree. It is horrible.
Looking for the pin on the Ward, though, is Young, but not enough. Caleb continuing to fight through, and now caught by El Tigre for a nice power bomb. Young rolling out of the ring wisely, and now it is just Ward and Tigre.
I'm going to stop giving you the time of day, Peters.
Step too far on that one. Playmaker made. We've got one. We've got two. What is in Tigre, man? Tigre has taken an obscene amount of offense, but there is the showstopper, and now looking for the pin on it is Brandon Young. Caleb Ward is down, and El Tigre finally goes out. He'll be the first of Melee out there. And now it is Young calling Ward back up to his feet. However, key counter found by
this is a
Caleb.
very poetic final two. This is a very poetic final two.
It is, and now off of the ropes. It could be enough. But Young continues to survive.
Now, I think that chair in the ring could be very dangerous. If someone lands a flying move, if someone landed on that chair, that could end it right there.
Oddly surprised neither one of them is choosing to use it. There's 3 kendo sticks in this ring. Every time Jimmy uses the word technical wrestling,
Don't even give him the time of day.
Christ.
Don't even listen.
It amuses me.
I'm going to HR after this.
Who's HR?
The
Looking for
dumpster in the
pin.
back.
We've got 2. And going home with the win. And the last entrant into the gauntlet from Melee, it is going to be Brandon Young.
You did apologize. Thank you. Can we mute Peters, please?
He's a mod, I'm powerless.
No!
No, we need Dr. Peters versus Jimmy Long next week.
League's okay. I don't play it, but it's okay. Is that good enough?
Say you love League, Jim. I can't even say that, and I played the game for a decade.
Can I say that League's okay? I've never played it, so I can't have that strong of feelings on it. Please, I'm just trying to do my job here, man.
I have to say, I'm a little surprised to see that Halil was the first one eliminated in this match. But El Tigre fought very, very hard to survive as long as he did.
Honestly, at that rate, I'm surprised Tigre didn't make it in the final two.
I think, unfortunately, he just caught a bit too much offense from just about everyone in the match.
Hey, why do you want me to die? Fine, Peters. I love League.
Not good enough. The fire begins.
I love League. Are you happy?
That's more like it. There we go. However, that was a very, very good match. And from Melee's side of things, as determined by the gauntlet, El Tigre will be out in the opening of the gauntlet next week, followed by Caleb Ward and finally by Brandon Young.
Oh, that's easy. I actually have very positive feelings about TNA. I actually really like it.
Saying you love LOL is still a horrible thing to say, only meant for sweats. Someone else is about to catch a lot of flack.
Careful, Gav. He may come to your streams and mess with you.
That would be perfect. League is for the sweat.
I can't comment because I want to stay sane.
However, we do have a promo before we head into the next match, which will be in the Skyline division between Carolyn Moore and Ramel Sabin. And it is coming out of a group known as Schism, which are Bennett Hayes, Danielle Fonseca, and KC Lee. Bennett, Danny, and Casey stand in the ring, each of them jeering at the crowd in turn before Hayes is handed a microphone. Tonight is the last night I want to hear or see any of you use the name Schism for us. I know I coined the name months ago in the wake of a little spat with Shade, but the Syndicate is dead. Has been dead. 4 more members abound. So where are we, eh? The schism of a dead faith is just the faith now. Am I wrong? I already said Syndicate is dead, and we are not replacing them. Danny smiles and takes her own mic. Every week we show you all what you could be. beauty, luxury, and what true dominance looks like. Fonseca gestures at the Ascendant Championship on her shoulder as the crowd boos. Oh, do you think less of my reign? Because I've done what is needed to hold this belt? When you get to the point we are, rules are just guidelines. We do what we want, when we want. We give you a show week after week, and you just pretend we aren't the best in town. Casey stands between Danny and Bennett, gesturing for Fonseca's microphone and then speaking. We have your first Capital champion, your longest reigning Ascendant champion, and your survivor and one of the few who ended Mortis's win streaks. That analyst from the draft can say what he wants. We three are the best this company has to offer. I'm almost ready to cash in on my championship match. Because there is someone who thinks they are better than me. Better than us. Who has sat pretty with their belt for far too long. So enjoy the show. Because you are going to be our captive audience. Casey winks at Bennett as Danny suddenly shoots her gaze to Lee before the three of them leave the ring.
I find it very funny that you called that group schism, and the first thing they say is don't call us schism.
You hadn't told me yet, okay?
I know, I just find that very funny.
He did stare at me right when he said that, though.
Looks like we both have someone coming for our heads.
Something tells me I'm gonna have to watch my food for a while. That's Bennett's game.
I thought of something, but I am not going to say it because I don't want to dig my grave any deeper.
What do you have to say?
No, you're not tricking me.
What do you have to say?
I'm not going to say it. You're not tricking me.
But I want to know.
Can you promise me protection from Wolfric for this?
I can try. I can't make any promises.
I'm worried I'm not going to see him coming because he's not going to be in my view line.
You won't see it coming. That's the funniest part.
I know, because he's so dang short.
Wait, what is this? That's not kind of you, but it is to be expected. Wait, what is this? I've given up. What did I miss? I've missed something. What is the I've given up? What did I miss?
I think it's just Peters and trying to insult Gab, and Bliss trying to break it up.
That's a game that's not going to end well.
I will say, I would love to hear those two get in an argument. I feel like that'd be very interesting.
I can't see gaps. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
I can't see gaps. That's right. What the live chat said on the thing I'm trying to respond. Okay.
My condolences.
The following contest is a
I got
special...
kicked out of Canada. That did indeed occur.
Hold on. Why did he get kicked out of Canada? I'm not filled in on this.
First, from Buffalo, New York,
To put it
Carolyn Moore.
as simply as possible, weird stories. That is the most context that will happen.
Fair enough.
However, entering the ring now, it is going to be the Beast, Carolyn Moore.
Now, Carolyn is a very, very scary individual. I think she could personally stare down a tiger and the tiger would back down first.
Wait, what is this? I'm regretting my decision. What do you mean? Like,
I think it's the weird stories he's talking about. There's so much chaos happening in the crowd. I don't know where to start.
However, entering first, it is a former three-time tag team champion. Her team of high voltage has been broken up. Mel Sabin seems unfazed. So I do have to say,
Did you miss Carolyn?
Hmm?
Carolyn came out first.
Carolyn did come out first. Did I say first?
You said first. She's coming out first.
I thought I said not coming out. My brain is mush. It's fine. We know this brain doesn't work very well. Japanese trash talk is in princess pony color and double letters, and it's so soft it should come with fruit color.
I'm scared to talk.
What does that mean?
Because I'm scared he'll turn it on me.
Very early roll from Moore into a rope break from Sabin. And Moore
Wait,
onto
free
the
cuddles.
offense.
Where?
Calling for Ramel to rise is Moore going straight into a penitence. Why'd you have to get her to rise up for that? You could have just done that.
I think it's a rubbing salt in the wound type thing from Moore there.
Sabin unfortunately misjudging the distance on that leg drop, but does manage to fight her way back up to her feet. Gabsworks Punches are sponsored by Phil with their work up. Chain wrestling briefly taking place, but is broken up and now set up on the ropes. It is going between Carolyn and Ramel. However, tries to find a little bit of an arm drag, but Moore has a plan, and around she goes to find that clothesline. But a little bit too much energy put into it, was not prepared for Mel to immediately counter. However, does find a big boot, and Alicia Hernandez forced to step away. And now off the ropes, nice elbow drop found. Now out of Hernandez, but a solid kick out at 2.
I'm filled with an overwhelming sense of dread. I'm scared that Wolfric is glaring at me from his office.
I'm surprised you think he's in his office.
He's probably right behind me in the crowd.
Big boot found by Moore. He might be back there, I don't know. A dangerous place back there. However,
I feel like I'm being choked out.
looking for the pin now. We've got almost a 2. Sabin with a lot of energy left in the tank. You guys were plays. Oh, wait. God, he uses is called a muffin. What does that mean? And that now out of Carolyn, but a swift 2 count, but not enough for a 3.
Can you fill me in here? Do the guns shoot muffins or something? I don't know.
Another pin attempt out of Moore. Similar situation to before with Yuri and Gabriella. The younger competitor looking for continuous pin attempts, while the veteran just trying to find some solid offense. However, set of reversals and now a big forearm out of Sabin.
I don't know if I feel safer or more in danger from that.
What is the idea, Captain Pie? From the top rope, though, is more looming, but that splash took too long to materialize, and a big counter out of Ramel, but again, just not quite having the movement down on that leg drop. Perhaps a little bit of ring rust developing over her time, not in the tag division.
Honestly, Gab, if it's okay with Harold, I'd be happy to have like a 3-person commentary team thing going on here.
I think 3 would be a bit much for me. I'm too used to one person. Already having 2 people on commentary is weird for me.
Yeah, at least you got someone to bounce off of now.
Nice maneuver to get out of dodge there from Moore, but swiftly an exchange of control of the match, and now it is Sabin heading up to the top rope. Nice pair of axe handles, and now it is her turn to call for her to rise up, and now no, she cannot lift Carolyn, and Moore looking for the roll up. We have got a 1, we've got a 2, but now a reversal on it. We have got now Ramel in control of the pin, but a swift kick out means that Ramel's forced to give it up, and now looking for more offense is Sabin. Wait, why don't we talk about
Hey, he
Byron?
said I love League, dude. Come on.
And now charging forward, nice splash out of Ramel. But Sabin eats a big kick to the head, and now caught in the gallows. Moore looking to put her out and take this win and advance in the Skyline division, but gives up the hold after it gets her nowhere. I think she was looking for the end of the match, but was denied by the more experienced Sabin. Caught her breath, and there's a big frog splash. We've got 1, we've got 2, and more goes down.
That was a beautiful ending to that match. Is there any way I can sate your fury, Dr. Peters?
No, I'm his brother-in-law and can't do it.
Oh yeah, you said I love League.
Here is your winner, Ramel
Sabin picking up a very, very big singles win here, especially as the season begins.
You can't discount the fact of her being busted open, though.
Moore did manage to deal enough damage to open up Sabin, but I'd rather walk home with a bloody face and a W than walk out long after my opponent. Thank you for
That's
more
a fair
bits, Dr.
point.
Peters. When I say feds, I mean e-fades.
E-fans.
Yeah, I gotta say it like that, e-fades. I cannot
Peters,
do
are
this.
you gonna
I
donate
can't
bits
do
at
that
every
accent
match?
on command, otherwise I would actually use it. Did I have music playing that entire time? It's fine. Everything's fine.
Big Papa. Big Papa Bits.
Big Papa. Or Big Popa. Are you Big Popa? Is it Popa or Papa? I heard no music. Perfect. What did I miss? I hadn't added. You just missed the replays. You just missed the match replays. However, on to the next match we will be going. You're going to be a tag team match between the prodigies of Leo Carr and Damian Morris up against Bennett Hayes and Danny Fonseca of The Show. I won't call him that again. I like having unpoisoned food.
I think Leo has to be up in his mind about the first match and him having to go against Kurt.
I don't honestly think a man like Leo is too concerned about Kurt Outlaw. Kurt Outlaw, while he does have a lot of anger behind him, is someone who
you say
has
that.
burned himself out in the past.
You say that, but then you're taking all your boots.
I just think Carr is, generally speaking, more concerned about people like AJ Phoenix, who are a little bit more controlled.
He's not facing AJ though, is he?
He's not, and I don't think he's that. I think he's going to be coming into that match a little overconfident because of it.
That could be very dangerous. I don't like Kurt, but I will admit he is a dangerous man.
Very, very dangerous man.
Maybe if I try to hide behind Kurt, he'll get mad enough at Wolfridge for me to escape.
Maybe.
That may be how I get out of here alive tonight.
I think that's bold to assume that's going to occur.
I'm just gonna actively search for Outlaw as soon as the show ends.
It's just like searching for a body block. The one downside of the special guest referee thing is I'm going to have to remember all of their names and then search for them. Yay.
I mean, if it's around Harold, I do kind of want to know. Also, I may just hide behind Howard. You probably help me.
Jimmy, do you want to know why I'm not in Canada? I would say if he would like to say why that is his decision. I think Outlaw would just let Wolfric do your thing. I gotta just see what's happening with something. However,
Actually, I've had a sudden change of heart. I think Kurt is a very talented wrestler, and I hope he wins his match.
you're hoping for a new Skyline champion now? You
I'm hoping to
your
get out
tune
of here
quickly.
alive.
You change your tune
I'm
quickly.
hoping to get out of here alive, Harold. Staring down the barrel of a very, very angry man tends to make you reconsider a few things.
You gotta learn the meta and be better than him.
I'm not gonna say it.
The following is a tag team match.
What if I just climb up on Howard's shoulders?
What about shoulders?
What if I climb up on Howard's shoulders
Combined weight
and Wolfric can't reach me?
101 pounds.
You'll find it.
And the natural Leo Carr, the awesome one.
Oh, You think I'd be safe if I climbed up on top of the trunks?
The Prodigies had an unfortunate start to their time here in TCWC up against the Carnival. The more experience as a tag team that Strongman Bruno and Brandon Young have proved their undoing in the tournament to unify the men's tag team championship on Melee with the mixed tag championship. But maybe tonight will be a different story for them.
I gotcha. Anyway. Who is your favorite to win this, Harold?
I honestly don't quite know.
And their opponents,
Bennett Hayes and Danielle Fonseca are former mixed tag champions. However, you know I'm a bit of a Leo Carr fanboy. I cannot...
You have to consider length of unity here. The show has been together like for a bit, and if I'm not mistaken, the Prodigies are a new team.
The Prodigies originated on AAW about June of last year. And the Syndicate...
I get
well,
you.
I should say, like, the remnants of the Syndicate that originally made up the show have been together for a very, very long time. And there is a factor of conflicting egos a bit here between both members of the team. Both these teams, to be completely honest. Damian Morris and Leo Carr both think they are the best people here in TCWC. And the same can be exactly said for Bennett Hayes and Danielle Fonseca. There's just a lot
I think
of
in a
ego
match
here.
like this, it's a matter of who can put aside their ego first and ultimately go for the win.
Overall, I think if this turns into a more traditional tag match, where there are solid backs and forths going on, I do think the Prodigies have a bit of an advantage. Leo Carr has a lot more pedigree behind him as a singles competitor, as a former Escalation champion, and you're currently reigning Skyline champion. And being able to compete with people
Well,
that have
obviously, look at
completely-
the title.
And Bennett was a former Capital champion, but he's not been able to succeed as a singles competitor since that. And then there is Daniel Fonseca, who's had a very conflicted reign, using a lot of underhanded tactics to secure her championship multiple times. I just think that in a traditional match, the Prodigies are a bit more tried and tested. Do you think one of the teams has a significant advantage over the other?
I mean, the team that has the advantage is the team that can put their egos aside first. That's my standpoint on this.
So far, it's just been a 1v1 between Hayes and Carr. A few pinfall attempts, but now off the ropes. Nice dropkick found by Hayes.
You have to think, Hayes is thinking, if I pin Leo here, I could qualify for a title match. That's probably going through his mind right now.
Blitz, Gab, I know you guys are kind of in a little bit of a back and forth through the chat at the moment. Neutral ground, please consider each other's thoughts on what's going on. I don't really know how to completely talk about it. I know you guys both have strong feelings on either side of the fence on the issue, but I cannot serve as a middle guy. I can only serve as a neutral field.
I'm never safe. I'm never safe with this man.
And that now out of Bennett after a big distraction there out of Casey Lee to get Leo Carr off balance. Nice double team by the show. Off the ropes goes Fonseca, and she finds a dropkick of her own now. And Carr looking a bit off of his game since that distraction. Now looking for the figure four head scissors. Rolled off, and Carr breaks out very quickly, but reversal on the Irish whip and a French Danny. That's a French Danny, fresh Danny. Attempts to find a bit of a roll-up, but was denied, and a nice suplex out of Carr. Danny rolling out to try and find herself some air, surprised by the onslaught, but a nice cross-body found by Leo. High note found by Carr. Morris still waiting for his chance to come in. And a breakup of the pin by Bennett. Leo Carr's with a sudden high note there, trying to put this match away and get control of the pace. But the Maestro might have a bit more difficulty than he is hoping for. Danielle desperately trying to get over to Hayes, but does actually manage to reach him, and now Bennett stepping back into the ring now to match Leo. Carson into the far corner, and Hayes, as he looking for, finds a nice little scoop slam. Now looking for the pin attempt. We have got a 1, we've got a 2, and a solid kick out at 2.
Now, what do you think is going through the head of Leo Carr as he is in this match? Currently a champion, his next opponent for that championship has been chosen. What do you think is going on in his mind right now?
I have to wonder if Carr feels that he's a little distracted. I don't know. Carr has got to have a lot on his mind because he wants to bring home the wins, but he can't wear himself too thinly in this match. I'm surprised he didn't bring Damian Morris in faster with the need to stay fresh in mind. But I think
it's what you said. I think it's what you said at the beginning of this. He probably thinks he can take on Kurt.
Nice solid kick out with assistance by Fonseca. I have to think that if he was agreeing to this match, he wasn't overly concerned about any of the competitors, even if that is potentially a overly brave choice, especially when there's Hacksaw Howard, who I'm not sure Carr has the moveset to overtake.
Here's the thing. I think in a one-on-one match, I don't think anyone has the perfect moveset to take him on in one-on-one.
It's overall just some people prefer to target legs, and that has been Hacksaw Howard's weakness. I don't know what just happened to Bennett Hayes' legs, but that was not a friendly maneuver. Damian Morris did try and get after Danny, but was denied twice now, and Hayes into the ring. And actually managed to catch him with that Dragon Sleeper. Damian Morris rolls out and gets a nice kick on the back, but has the damage been done? No, finds a nice kick, has got him up, and finds a very nice driver. We've got 1, we've got 2, but Hayes is not done yet. I think Carr was actually going to be looking to set up a crescendo there, but chose the absolute worst corner to do so, and has now been rolled up by Hayes. Very fast kick out at one by Carr. However, fresh off the apron, I'm not super surprised.
That is one of the biggest qualities for a tag team match. It's being able to know when to time your tag-ins and just spacing yourself out to be able to get to your partner.
And truthfully, that has been Prodigy's problem since day one. They end up kind of fighting two separate 1v1 handicap matches more often than not. However, now looking for the pin on the car yet again is Hayes, and it almost
That's why
was
in my
enough.
mind, the show may have a bit of an edge here because they know how to operate as a team and not just two singles competitors. I mean, yeah, it's an egotistical thing. Sorry.
No, you're good. I thought there was about to be a pin attempt, but no! Dragging Cutter has landed Hayes in instantly to stop Morris from pinning Danny. What are we going to actually Morris up from the top rope? That splash is evaded, and Danny now she looking for finds a nice sling blade into that drop kick. I have to say, I do have to agree with you though, when we were kind of saying earlier that the show is a bit more egotistical. However, roll up now out of Fonseca, looking to pin Morris, but a swift kick out on the side of Damien. I think the end of this match is going to be looming if the show maintain control. But that is going to be the question here. Off the rope goes Damien. Finds a nice dropkick onto Bennett, and now nice little suplex. Bennett was already looking to try and get Danny back into things. A little bit off balance now are the show. You guys are fine. I just don't want to be the middle ground of what should be a different discussion. You cannot catch a break.
They made one comment about me being from the Bayou. One.
Nice dropkick found by Damien, but very swiftly he's trying to get over to Leo, and Danny just about lets it happen. Fonseca, though, gets caught on the back end of a big series of offense out of Carr, who's now going after the arm of Danielle.
I have been nothing but bullied and harassed this whole time.
Leo
And a
Carr
part of-
doing it again. Carr, remember that you are in a tag match, my friend.
That's just the problem. I think between the two teams, Prodigy has the biggest ego problem. I mean, you have two talented teams, but they can't look past their own arrogance and skill to be just a team.
I do think it's going to be a learning curve for the Prodigies. Both of them are relatively young. However, Broken Embrace Crossface has been locked in. Damien does manage to fight his way out, but I'm not sure for how much longer they're going to be able to do so. However, the Prodigies finding a double team of their own, I think for the first time in this match, unless I missed something. However, Madeline gets in the way a little bit, but there is a big boot, and Kynes gets hit by it along the side of it with that super kick. However, Not to be outpaced is Carr. Finds a nice maneuver into that Tiger feint kick, and now off the ropes. Does not go for a crescendo, but does find that Frankensteiner. But it is broken up immediately before the pin can get anywhere. Harold, have you thought of a castle theme for Tussle? I have. We've definitely been very medieval themed here in the past. However, shattered mirror has landed onto Carr, and Fonseca is not done. Not even going for the pin attempt, bringing Hayes in, and now off the ropes heads Leo, and I'm not sure there is anything left in his tank right now. Looking for the pin. We have got a 1, but it is broken up quickly by Damien. But I don't know how much is going to be left for the duo. Word of the day, Gwempathy. I like Gwempathy. Bennett calling for Leo Carr to rise, but he gets caught on the way up with a power slam. And now Carr getting Bennett set up in the corner. He's looking for the power slam, but cannot find a rather scoop slam. However, reversal on the Irish whip off the ropes, but no nice combination of the maneuvers, and it is Hayes currently in control. Set up in the corner. No big combination of counters between these two. Both of them know the end is looming, and neither one of them want to give the other one a single inch. However, Carr yet again set up for the shattered mirror, potentially caught off guard by Danny coming in, and we have got a 1, we've got a 2, but no! Danny having a brief back and forth with Casey there. However, onto ringside, finds a nice facebuster onto Carr. Gwen, I was going to laugh hysterically when you put the entire definition of empathy into Gwen's speech.
Wait, what?
Blitz asked what is Gwempathy, and I really, really wanted to see the entire definition of empathy in gibberish. Oh, no.
If you want, I can do it live.
I believe Gwen is about to do so.
Gwen, if you want, I can do it live on stream.
Let's focus on this first. Danny calling for Leo to
I'm
rise
the crowd
up
work guy,
himself. But not knowing quite how to continue, doesn't eventually go for the axe handles. However, Carr back on his feet. Neither one of them finding quite what they were looking for on the back end of that rise. And we're going for the tag onto Damien is denied by Fonseca. And now being brought back up to his feet. Reversed on the Irish whip, put back into her own corner, and Carr wisely bringing Morris back in.
I will say, it speaks a lot to just the paramount of talent we have here at TCWC, where we can have these matches with female and male wrestlers.
Another Dragon Cutter, but it is quickly broken up on the pin attempt. The ability to understand where that is hard to read in gibberish. Holy.
Everything's hard to read in gibberish.
I guess my brain no works, so my brain goes, this makes sense to me way more often than it should. Hayes delivered into the corner of the Prodigies, and now another double team. This is going to be a big contender for match of the night from me so far.
Honestly, though.
Madeline Kynes making sure Damien gets out of the ring as Bennett Hayes is planted down with that scoop slam. And now, at long last, Carr might be looking for it, but no, still not trying to find the crescendo. And now being left exposed to the show. Double team now from those two. Nice combination of elbows, and now Bennett Hayes quickly making his way out of the ring. And on the opposite side, Danny following Leo out before Carr's even realized someone was waiting for him.
I think if we have a show on April 1st next year, we should commentate in only gibberish.
The last symphony, though, at ringside has landed. Both of them taking their time to get back up to their feet.
Don't let this send in a call out.
Carr trying to bring Danny back into the ring. Reversal, no. Irish whip reversal not quite going either one of their ways. Mates, this ain't going to be the way to go forward. We're up to a 10 of 15. Leo Carr potentially costing himself the match here. We're up to a 14. Danny on the ropes celebrating, and Carr getting back in at the last possible moment.
That's going to be moment of the night right there.
Oh. Last fraction of a second he even could. And now Damien in the ring, locked in with Danny, and the broken embrace is back in. Is it going to be enough to end it this time? No, it will not.
Ace 4 will not quit.
However, nice driver yet again found by Damien. Bennett to break up the pin, but now Morris trying to figure out what he has to do to put this match away. He needs to find one more bit of offense before Bennett gets tagged back in, but he cannot find the 630. And there is going to be one, there's two, and no exhaustion not setting in quite yet. Commentary was so hard. I think I understand gibberish now. Yes, gibberish, once you understand the basic principle, is very simple.
I think this match is going to go on all night at this rate.
It is looking to be a bit of an eternal match, however, off the ropes. Going for that another little Frankensteiner, looking for the pin off of it yet again. We've got one, we've got two, and Fonseca is too exhausted to continue. 8, the final symphony. 8, another driver, and there's just nothing left in the tank for Danny.
That was an amazing match right there. That's definitely going to be a contender for match of the night.
Prodigies power through a brutal match, and the show and the Prodigies both earning their monikers.
Even with the loss, the show should be very proud of themselves for that match.
That is the interesting thing to note, like as you brought up earlier, though, that both of these teams are more focused on singles competition traditionally.
That is true. I will grant.
I'm sorry, how many times did Madeline slap people in the face for the pin?
Here are your winners.
Too many. I think we may have a bit of brain damage both times.
they are not going to be feeling this match next week.
This was a very dangerous match to have a week before going against someone like Kurt. I mean, maybe Leo has a plan for it, but this may seal his title reign right here.
Honestly, it might, and it would be tragic for a win to be the final thing that Leo has before that title is dropped from him. And I mean that as a win in a different, in tag, and then dropping the title would be a brutal way.
That'd be heartbreaking.
However,
I get the feeling Kurt's backstage rubbing his hands like an evil mastermind.
I think he's trying to do math on a whiteboard. However, next match up is going to be that rivalry match that was made official earlier in the day. It is going to be Edward Godwin taking on Raymond Warwick in just a moment.
So, what percentage do you think Kurt's gonna get for his win next week?
It's gonna be a high number. I'm like, why is this being so weird on special guest referee? Yeah, I literally said
He's probably gonna say he's got like a 52,000 cubic percentage chance of winning.
cubic percentage. If he says cubic percentage, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it if I hear cubic percentage.
My one hope for this is that this feud here draws enough attention from Wolfred for me to get out of here in one piece.
It's probably your best bet. I don't think there's any question that this is gonna be your best bet to get out of here in one piece.
I just hope I got the right idea for this, honestly.
But what if the math is just adding? Is it still hard?
Yes.
Danny is good. Wait, Gwen, what did you just say about Danny? What'd you say about Danny? Danny is back. She's coming for you. She's coming for you. You can't stop it. She's coming for you.
We got several people going after others tonight.
So we've got a very violent crowd this evening.
And the participants, first from Newcastle upon
Not even with just the crowd, with the stars as well, and even our GM getting in on it.
It appears that to try and keep a lid on things, Wilfred Drake has not allowed Pierre and Evelyn at ringside for this. As I think that would just be a cover story for a beatdown, but
it's a smart strategy for containing it. It's not good for me, though.
I think the fact that Wolfgang was even thinking about that is a good sign for your own safety, though.
It's true. Maybe I can reason with him. Give him a pint or something. Give him some of our Bayou Moonshine. I think I got some in my car.
Will little Edward Godwin be able to secure the Dynasty's honor here and take down the gentleman?
and his opponent from London, England, weighing in at 232 pounds, Raymond Warwick.
I think, personally, it says a lot that Godwin is coming out here on a throne when Pierre is the more royal of the two.
What is Godwin if not ambitious, then?
Methinks he may be looking a little too far.
You're starting to sound like Gavin take Pierre's side here.
Hey, I just call it how I see it.
Making his first TCWC debut, though, is going to be Raymond Warwick. I guess we say debut, but return here. As Raymond was an active participant in TCWC before broadcast. To referee this thing is going to be dang. This thing does not like to let me not be a controller in this. Ain't no like. Take my money. Wait, what is this?
Are we getting technical difficulties?
Quick pin attempt out of Godwin onto Raymond, and Raymond kicking out very quickly. Warwick has been caught out by Godwin for a second time, though. Off the ropes, it is going to Raymond, who finds a counter, but after a quick exchange, the Lord Edward continues to be in control of this thus far. The young Godwin taking things a step too far. What do you think Godwin entering on a throne means for him overall?
I think he could possibly be trying to usurp the Duke. When you saw he was very distant when the dynasty was out here.
Off the ropes he goes and finds another clothesline. However, neither one of them quite landing the way they wanted there. And we've got a 1, we've got a 2, and a nice kick out by Raymond. The gentleman fighting his way back up to his feet, though. Breaking the back, come on, man. At least pretend to respect the rules. There's only so much I can overlook. Edward's behavior does concern me, as you mentioned earlier. He was very distant from the dynasty earlier on, staying on the opposite side of the ring. However, he was one of the first ones to get mad at Raymond starting to call people names. Though potentially only because those insults were directed at him. However, up from the top rope, Raymond is looking for something on Godwin, and there is no axe handles denied with a big punch to the gut, but Warwick cares not. Chucks Godwin straight into Vang and gets straight back on the offense. Drops him across the top rope, and now seeing how he wants to continue. Nice neckbreaker found. Looking for the pin off of it. We've got 1, we've got 2, but we seem to be far, far away from a 3. No, I don't really caught that sign back there. For someone who says he is a Knight of Davis shown, someone did hold up a sign that said for the House of Godwin.
Like that, that's what I'm talking about right here.
I don't know what just happened, but Godwin for a moment had control of that. Yeah, Gav, I've had to start giving my cat her meals in 2 halves. One half stored in a toy and one half in the bowl. Because she could not stop eating too fast, even with a thing to slow down how fast she was eating. Off the ropes, Godwin finds another clothesline. But every time he goes for this, his arm seems to take a little bit of a hit. Levi only gets to a 2. Nice knee strike to the head. But Godwin not looking to put him away.
I
Edward,
always get a bit squeamish when I hear about hits to the head.
they are definitely going after each other's heads more than just about anything else here. Both of them, quite frankly. Gets him set up and a big pair of knees. Looking for the pin now is Godwin. And no! The Meteora was close, but there is no cigar. Off the ropes he goes, and there is a big elbow, and it is Warwick now trying to bring Edward to the center of the ring. Back up to his feet, though, is Godwin. Now on the shoulders of Raymond, and Raymond drops him on that top turnbuckle. Warwick, not quite sure how he wants to continue. Goes for a big stomping choke, though, to the throat. And rolling out into the center of the ring now is Godwin. Being called back up to his feet by Raymond. And the gentleman finds a nice little headbutt. Looking for the pin, though. We've got 1, we've got 2, but still not enough to keep Godwin down. I'm excited for tomorrow. I was excited for today, and that energy continues. Perfect. Gouging at the face of Edward, continuing by Warwick. However, armbar locked in by Godwin. Is it going to be enough? No. Nice little rollout and creative escape on the part of the Cruel Gentleman. However, off the ropes goes Warwick. And Raymond, still not finding his wits, eats a big pair of boots. We've got 1, we've got 2, and there is 3.
Dang.
I honestly don't think Raymond was prepared for a match tonight. I think he came in expecting just to be able to throw shade and walk away like he did to so many a month ago. Perhaps used to people turning a blind eye to these things and letting them boil over, but Warwick, not prepared for someone like Wolfric to just say, I'm not letting this go. You two are fighting this out.
Yep, looks like we got our percent chance from Kurt.
I see Kurt Outlaw does have an announcement. Can be read next week, but fine. But fine.
Yeah.
However, you can see the damage done to Edward. There are bruises already forming on the chest of Godwin.
If I'm Pierre, though, I'm going to be a bit interested in that House of Godwin sign we saw.
He might have some intriguing words for Godwin.
I am very curious to see what that's like when he gets to the back.
Honestly, think for now, Pierre's just going to be happy that he walked out with a win up against Raymond. However, next match up, it's going to be a #1 contender triple threat match for the Men's Ascendant Championship. It's going to be Victor York, Quinn Phoenix, and the Carnival's strongman Bruno, who will be looking to match the Ringmaster with a title opportunity in the coming weeks. Now, with all three of these people, in TCWC at least, being known more for their tag team prowess, who do you think is coming into this match with an advantage?
That is the thing here. I do not know. I think while he's a bit overlooked, we have to at least think about Bruno here.
Oh, a lot of people have been sleeping on Bruno. Even last week, the analyst Kent Wyman did point out that Bruno has potential as a singles competitor.
It's in the name, strongman.
But how well will the strongman function without the ringmaster behind him, is my question.
That is the big question there. I'm excited to see the answer to it. The analyst is wrong. Bruno is scary. I do not want him to continue.
Wait, what just happened? The analyst is wrong. Bruno is scary. I don't think there was any question. All the way out the bat was scary. I don't think that was the question, sir.
No one's doubting that the strong man is scary.
Did Steven just like disappear and I didn't see it? Where did Dr. Peters go? Did he say he was leaving? No, he just
Don't invoke his name.
No, I must invoke his name. I must invoke it. It's needed.
Why is he needed?
Because it amuses me far too much.
It amuses you.
I never said I wasn't a tyrant.
Representing the Brotherhood from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
All right, Harold Russo, calm down.
There's a reason the emote exists. Entering swiftly, though, it is one half of the Phoenix Bros. They had a very solid match last week up against the Davishon Dynasty.
Hey, do me a favor, check in the crowd real quick.
Harold, when I am playing with him or commentating with him, it's always, and I mean always, Larry.
I love it. Me thinks he gets a bit of a power trip. That's just me.
That's the best part. However, entering now is going to be Victor York for one of his first times seriously since parting ways with the Old Gods and Skoldebrode. I was just about to say what you said. That's
And gravity, weighing in at 247 pounds, Strongman Bruno!
Bruno has shown some prowess as a singles competitor in the past. Also, no.
I got a question. Is Dr. Peters just your court jester you use to insult anyone you want, Mr. Tyrant King?
No, he insults me more than anyone else. Today he was surprisingly
Okay.
supportive. Today was an anomaly.
Court jesters are the only people who could insult the king, so that makes sense. Oh, and Gab, clown, nightmare.
Honestly, I love the new look of video. Victor York had a fun little redesign this year for me. Am I finally not in control of everyone? God dang it, why does this hate me? I told it to be AI. However, nice maneuvers so far as we get into things. Bruno and Victor the ones standing. Bruno eats a big elbow, and York was trying to go for Bruno and actually still was a little confused by his collapse, it looked like. Bruno and Victor cannot leave each other alone here.
Maybe there was something between the two.
For a pin attempt and very quick kick out. Now it is worth noting though that Bruno and Victor have met in the tag division before. This is the first time either one of them have dealt with Quinn. So potentially trying to deal with the devil they know so they can try and figure out the devil they don't.
That is a smart strategy. My worry is that Quinn can just sit on the sideline and let them fight.
Beautiful roll there out of Quinn to dodge out, but Bruno back on the offense relatively quickly. However, Victor just cannot leave the man alone. However, now finally being isolated with Quinn, and York has got Phoenix up for a nice little Falcon Arrow style board buster. Set up on the ropes is Bruno. However, finds a big forearm, but denied anything more. Quinn caught himself on the ropes and found a big clothesline, but now it is Victor, the only one standing in the ring for now. Looking for the pin. Quinn has got to get back in, but a solid kickout saves him. Phoenix just about let that end just because he wanted to grab an extra weapon.
And that's the problem with these matches. You gotta try and balance how many weapons you want to bring in and just watching your opponents.
The elimination style is a little bit easier for people to do what they want in. When it's one count ends all, people have to stay much more aware. That Phoenix splash, though, does not land. Bruno chucks Victor into the center of the ring, getting in between Quinn and himself. Gets the kendo stick out of the hands of Phoenix, but the strong man catches the leg and with a big clothesline has got Quinn down, but very quickly he has recovered. Bruno looking a bit angry and ready to try and put someone away, but Victor chucking him into the corner and now being a bit isolated by Quinn. He goes and down across that top turnbuckle. Phoenix quickly off the ropes, finds a moonsault, and now it is Bruno's turn to figure out how he wants to continue. Grabs a kendo stick very quickly. Big reversal on the side of Victor, and Quinn is now down with Bruno with the kendo stick, but Victor gets onto the offense, and kendo stick is dropped. Quinn trying to recover. Victor set up for a big Kuranagi. We have got one. We've got one. Quinn made it in just in time to stop the end of this match from becoming the reality. Got a big drop kick onto Bruno, and now it is Victor downed and trying to recover. There's Dr. Pizzas. Jimmy thinks Battle Royale means fighting over leftover profit.
Why'd you have to invoke him?
It is perfect. It is perfect. With fire, what does that mean? What is this like muffin gun wet bread thing word mean? Like what is?
Why are we talking about muffin gun wet bread?
Young man down. Quinn has got Victor reeling a bit with that kick. Bruno seems content to let that wait for a moment before breaking things up. However, he's now been rolled up by Victor, and it is again Bruno trying to break up the pin. He's got Victor up and whips him back down with a nice little power slam. What does that mean?
Don't you dare bring my mother into this.
I still don't know what that means. Nice Cody Cutter from Phoenix. We've got one. We've got two. Victor in to stop the end. So far, a lot of this match has been Quinn looking for pin attempts and either Bruno or Victor breaking them up. Got a nice little falcon arrow there. And now it is Bruno fighting his way back up to his feet, up against Quinn. Phoenix off the ropes. No, does not get caught. Finds a nice maneuver, but very quickly it is York laying in the offense, and now he is the one with a weapon. Strongman gets back up to his feet, finds a clothesline, looks for the pin attempt. We've got one, we've got two. But Quinn in just in time again. Wait, what is... We've suddenly gone to... It's the word of the Lord. Praise be to God.
He's saying that insulting my mother is the word of God.
Nice suplex out of Bruno. Quinn in. And is finding good offense against the strongman. Now looking for a pin onto Victor. Bruno is stunned outside the ring, and it is enough.
That was a wild match.
Quinn's kind of stealing the win there. I just don't know anymore. I'm running out of material.
That's all right with me.
I'm not surprised. You had a lot of material coming into this one. Bruno and Victor have to be frustrated with how this match ended, especially with this being Quinn's third match here in TCWC. Wait, is that a thinly veiled compliment?
Don't inflate his ego, please.
But it's fun. Aren't you having fun?
I'm having to watch my back for an angry man. No!
Quinn.
You're the one who called him a manlet. That was brave. I just called him. I brought up dwarfism, and then he got mad that he got a dwarf.
Wolfric, he said man, get him!
I didn't call him a manlet. That was all you. I live in fear of randomly getting a crown. I don't know about you, man. You wanted this Jimmy, you kept asking about him.
I mean, that's fair. I'll grant you, that's fair.
The current Ascendant champion, Captain Pie, is Philip Rex. So Quinn is going to have his work cut out for him up against the King of New York.
I think, personally, Pierre and Philip Rex should go at it, and we see who the real nobility of Melee is.
I would say that Philip is more of a informal king.
He's so fun and so king.
There is a match I have to remove because I forgot to do someone's move set.
You mean they're just not here today?
Yeah, Israel's still continuing to spite me. He showed up, bought food, and left again. Come on, man. You had 2 jobs. Show up for your picture. Show up for your match. You were here. We talked. Why did you leave again? Why? Anyway.
You sound pained. Like, you sound like you're in actual, genuine pain.
He disappoints me sometimes. Next matchup, it'll be the women's.
Are you gonna
Ascendant
ask to have him
Championship.
iced?
Wait, what was that about ice?
You sound like you're 5 seconds away from telling someone to ice them. Freaking mob boss over here.
This man is being saved by his skill.
That's not a threat whatsoever.
I don't threaten people. Trust me. You can trust me.
I don't know who I should be more scared of, Wolfric or you.
Depends on the day.
I think Wolfric is the one I should more constantly fear. You're a seasonal threat.
Yeah, I'm a seasonal threat. That's my favorite statement. Okay, in theory, all of these are listed as computers in control. So this should work as intended. The worst part about me not noticing that I didn't do that little bit of work was I spent like a full repeated looks through this match card going, I have all of these done, right? And then just missed one. Wait, what did I miss in here?
Peter is insulting me again.
Harold moveset missing is Rachel. Wait, what?
And a participant. First, from Warsaw, Poland, Sophia Griffin.
Entering first, it is Selena Shade's prodigy in Sophia Griffin. Mr. Earl can be a scary man on his bad days. Yes, this is true. When Jimmy plays Call of Duty, his UAV gets shot down by pigeons.
Why pigeons? I'm genuinely curious.
Every time Jimmy calls in support, the operator sends a sympathy card. I'm not commentating today. I'm just reading what the crowd is telling me. I wouldn't say I'm great. I'm average. At least I would hope I was happy.
And her opponents, first from Westminster, Colorado, Ellis Vaughn!
Like Roman is Elise. Good try, but it is Elise. Now, who do you think has an advantage going into this match? Sorry. Do you see Wolfric over there or something? Whatever. Do you think? Overall, it's Elise Vaughn here, though, making this her second match since her return to TCWC since, was it February? A former star here, one of the inaugural Challenger champions. But a lot of expectation riding on the laurels of her rather successful MMA career.
Well, anyway, you asked me earlier. Yeah, I saw him in the distance. He was very scary. Anyway, I think Sophia may have an edge here just due to the pedigree of who's training her.
Coming in with a bit of a different look since her time away. It is going to be Francine Nguyen. Someone who I personally think gets slept on quite a bit simply because she was a very consistent member of the Skyline division last year. Even if she never got the title herself, she did fight to more than one title shot opportunity and was a little bit of a gatekeeper, even if she did struggle to beat veterans. HB's blood type is just labeled Gumbo.
Can't really have a blood type when speeders suck it all out.
It's hard to have a blood type. Yes. Hey, Shoshila, how is it going? How did I not notice that was Shoshila? How does it go, Shoshila? Match begins, and it is Elise and Sophia going after each other immediately. Early pin attempt to Nguyen, just waiting. Zine gets caught with a counter swiftly by Vaughn, and now Griffin maneuvering out of the way, or at least trying to, but still gets caught on the back end. Now Vaughn off the ropes does take down Sophia, and now looking at Nguyen with a nice little suplex. Overall here, who do you think has the best chance against Danny?
I ain't gonna lie. I see a reasonable shot for everyone here. If I had to guess, though, I would still say Sophia.
What do you think gives her an edge overall in the match? I think something you favor her to win the thing. What makes you lean that
Well, you
direction?
brought it up earlier. The pedigree of her training is, it's there. Like, she's trained by one of the best.
I wondered
mean,
sometimes
that's-
though, how much longer that training will continue. Sophia is a former Skyline champion herself, and Selena is just sitting there with the belt that Sophia might think should be hers not to mention recent events in AAW involving Helen Wilson.
I will say that is a match I am very excited to see along down the road.
I am doing decent socially. I am getting a bit tired. Very happy. I think I'm happy that I forgot to do Ezreal set. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, this is all I got tonight. Good night, and love you. Have a great night, Dr. Peters.
Go! Leave!
You're free from one of your threats, Jimmy.
He's my biggest threat. I say that, and now someone else is gonna be going for my throat.
I know there's gonna be someone going for your temple in a moment.
That's a different threat. That's a physical threat. Right now. I'm looking at threats to my mental psyche.
Nice little Hurricanrana there out of Nguyen to try and get the pace going on Nguyen. But now it is Elise with a kendo stick going after both Sophia and Francine. She has got
Nothing,
Sophia
nothing,
isolated
Peter.
as a
Have a
fun-
great day. Have a great night.
Wait, was that
I don't have a muffin gun. I don't know what a muffin gun is.
Nice maneuver there for a roll-up by Elise. But perhaps a little bit too ambitious given the people around. Elise a little bit rusty when it comes to traditional in-ring work still, I think, despite having the month to work on it in Europe.
Damocos, you come in here out of nowhere and have the nerve to just say schnitzel.
He's Doofenshmirtz. What are you expecting? Big 4-on-2 Francine, but one of the 3 kendo sticks brought into this ring has been broken on the back of Sophia. But Nguyen found a better head on Vaughn. And very quickly, though, it is turned into another just chaotic back and forth between all 3 women. Evil Village.
I am going to ask, though, is it your main event tonight?
Wait, what was that? The Talon has landed, though. We've got 1. We've got 2.
Is this our main event tonight?
No, there's 1 more match.
Alright.
But if you need to avoid Wolfric, you need to avoid Wolfric, and I can't blame you.
I'm actually going to step away real quick. I need to make a phone call to a local friend and ask them to get my car ready.
Do I know this contact? Did they previously work here?
No, family friend.
That's not any more convincing.
It's no one you know, it's no one the company knows.
Well, I wish you good luck, Mr. Long. Nice strikes coming out of Sophia by Elise with that kendo stick. Francine climbing back into the ring from the apron, and now, looking for the pin now is Elise. Griffin has taken a lot of damage in this match, and now Francine has been caught by Vaughn with the dirge. We've got no count, though, with Griffin back in the ring.
I'm back. They're on their way now. Also, why are you so suspicious that it was someone that used to work here?
It just sounded like something that I would have heard from one of the D'Angelos, and I didn't want to get into it.
I mean, my bloodline's known for alleged mob ties, but no.
Right now, though, it is Francine getting Sophia set up in the corner. While it is Vaughn trying to find a good maneuver, but unable to find momentum up against Nguyen. However, set up. No! Nice bulldog to get out of dodge. And now it is Francine in control. Finds a nice shoulder breaker. And now manages to catch Sophia slipping. Drake fall. We've got one. We've got two. There is three.
What a match there.
Nguyen picking up and could potentially be seen as a bit of an upset victory. Using good timing to get the win.
I don't think I've gotten a single prediction right tonight.
It can be hard. There's a bit of a caster curse there.
I'm probably just gonna say the opposite of what I want from now on.
Oh, that Drake fall! I just realized that Drake fall went onto 2 kendo sticks.
Mm.
Here is your winner.
And Elise almost broke it up, and just could not quite do it.
Actually, I'm gonna start right now. I want Wolfric to stop me out. Maybe if I say that, he'll be dissuaded.
Are you a masochist?
I'm hoping it's opposite day.
I'm hoping opposite day. Ambitious.
I'm very scared.
Damikos, you need to talk to one of your bosses, because this is, like, actually not okay. I'm literally just picturing right now Wolfric, like, walking around just behind the announcer like Randy Orton. Just, like, waiting there. Got a hoodie on.
I'm just not gonna turn around. If I can't see him, he can't hurt me.
If you can't see him, he's not a threat. He's just not a threat. Anyway.
I'm sight out of mind.
We are on to our main event for the evening.
I wonder how I'm gonna make Tussle's GM mad.
Adrian's easier to make angry.
Well, in that case, I'm in very big trouble.
Adrian will send people after you. He won't do it himself.
I've heard he has friends that were in and are in the military. I am more scared of him, honestly.
One of them wields the power of authority, one of them wields the power of strength.
And then there's one that's a bit distant, but is still very scary.
However, who do you think has the advantage in this main event? Jackie Garcia or Rachel Quinn?
I will probably say Rachel because, and hear me out here, like, she is a tried and tested TCWC wrestler. Even if she's a bit on the newer side, she knows how to go at it in the ring.
Becky Garcia is a former Capital champion, however.
And you have to think that's going to play a part in this.
I'm curious to see if Rachel Quinn's general struggles when it comes to veterans is going to continue to plague her here in this match.
Well, you know what a certain road said about hard times.
And what is that?
I do not have the direct quote. Hold on.
The following is a special guest
Levi, I'm sorry, but go away for a moment. Get into the ring, man.
And the participants, first representing the Outlaws from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, one half of the Universal Tag Team Champions, Jackie Garcia.
Perhaps looking for a second shot to hold both the Capitals Championship and a Tag Team Championship. Jackie Garcia might be spreading herself thin here, but she is not to be underestimated.
Who do you personally favor in this match, Harold?
Just because of Rachel Quinn's consistent struggles with veterans, it's gotta be Jackie for me.
That's probably a safe bet here.
From Detroit, Michigan, Rachel Quinn.
Rachel Quinn looking very different than she did last year.
So I will say, just like going away from this, damn cross, that is not healthy whatsoever. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on this.
Yeah, all I can say is from having consistently worked 10 out of 12 days for several months, it's not fun. Rachel Quinn's win, I will not be upset, but I would rather Jackie. I will say, however, I think, while I do think Jackie has a better matchup up against Rachel, when it comes to Selena, I think that Quinn has a much better skill set to deal with Shade. Jackie, unfortunately, has had to kind of play in the same game Selena does, only instead of using high-flying maneuvers, will try and grapple with her. But overall, he kind of just tries to keep things on a faster pace and wear down the opponent with just continuous attacks. And I think Shade has proven in the past that she can continue going for a lot longer than most of the roster. However, now looking for a little bit of a creative way to go after the shoulders. However, nice little bulldog there out of Garcia. I know you think that Quinn is going to take this win. What do you think gives her an edge over Garcia?
Wait, sorry, what was that? I spaced out for a second.
I'm like, it's Wolfric back there?
I don't know. I think I'm seeing things.
I was asking why you think that Quinn has an edge over Garcia, since you think she would be the one taking this win. However, as the chain wrestling does continue, pushed into the ropes.
I mean, I've always been here for like the underdogs in a story like this.
That is
and I mean, everyone loves a good underdog story. That's all I'm gonna say.
think the difference is pin attempt out from Jackie onto Quinn. Swift kick out at 2. I don't think the difference is that big enough that Quinn is a serious underdog. More so just a continuous string of unfortunate events has happened for her in these matches.
Yeah, well, you never know how a match can pan out. We've seen a lot of upsets here.
We have tonight. Harold, what happens if I redeem the 6K to join TCWC? Well, Damocross, you're already well above the 4, so for you it doesn't do anything. But it is the 6K per cost traditionally.
I mean, you could be paying for someone else, like I did. I heard someone did that recently.
It was some weirdo named Toadstool. I gotta continue
man,
where
sounds
Peter
pretty cool.
left off.
I don't know, he sounds pretty cool.
Remind yourself that overconfidence
No relation whatsoever, by the way.
slow and insistent.
Stop, Gab.
Excuse me, soundbite. Can we do that again? What was that soundbite? Quinn looking for the pin, but a solid kick out at 2. Where is it? I need to hear that again. That was beautiful. Looking for the pin attempt again is
Remind
Quinn,
yourself
and
that
actually
overconfidence
finds the
is
pin.
Slow and insistent.
Wow.
I kind of miss what actually ended that match. That I was sitting here looking for Wolfric over my shoulder. But Rachel Quinn will be the challenger to Shade next week.
Hey, look at the show ends and I get a good prediction. Oh God, he's coming out. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, well, I think I see Wolf. You're gonna want to spring to you, man.
I'm gonna leave the crowd. See you guys.
By the grace of the golden throne, I hereby sign the death warrant.
It's not even doing the full.
Rachel Quinn!
Whoa, it's doing part of it. Rachel Quinn coming home with the win. This is not cursed.
Madness, our old friend.
It actually completed a quote. I hate this. What is this one? What is this one?
Nobody can see.
Nobody can see sounds pretty normal. That's a little disappointing. I think Oopa Loopa might actually win that one. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty
Emotional.
good. I'm sorry. These sound bites are working great and I love it. These are definitely working as intended. And I am way too amused. What causes this to happen with sound alerts sometimes, man? It's so good. You shall not. I don't know what we're knotting. What are you using for the sounds? It's just, I think I forget if it's sound alerts or Twitch alerts. Let me just quick, I have to like remember. Yeah, it's sound alerts. Let me just like go to their site real fast. Maybe they're normal now? Nope, that's still sounding completely fine. I don't know if they're gonna be here tomorrow or not, so I have to use them all today.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
He was coming back from the bathroom. He saw some bayou guy in his suit running out. What was that all about? Was Wolfric chasing him? Because I think I know what that was about. If Wolfric was chasing him out of the building.
Shut down.
See, Gab, I could use the link you sent me, but then I'd have to re-find all of the wonderful sounds I have located. Because I was originally going to do this one, and then I found one that did like all the work for me, and for some reason it's just broken today. Normally it's fine. I just love when it breaks. I definitely think this is the best one. Reverb.
Infinity of the God
Reverb.
Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I hereby sign the death warrant.
Anyway, I will stop destroying your guys' ears, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Tussle. Don't do anything too crazy in the meantime. I need some cold beverages. I'm gonna rest my voice a bit. And I will catch you guys in the next one. No, stop it. Stop going crazy. It's rude.